Boss has come up with a solution to bring the world of synthesizers to the world of guitars with a single stop box pedal. It's called the SY-1. We're going to tell you all about it today, so stick around. Hey, you're watching Alamo Music TV. My name's Chris McKee.
And I'm Cooper Greenberg.
We're here with Alamo Music Center in San Antonio, Texas. You can find us online at alamomusic.com. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe, turn on notifications, like our videos. If you'd like to support the channel, visit our Teespring store located below for custom designed t-shirts, like this Stranger Strings shirt that we have up redesigned on our website. Now, speaking of Stranger Strings, synthesizers and guitars. Now, this has been attempted before. A number of times there's been attempts at this. In fact, we kind of lovingly poked fun in a recent video about technology fails when it comes to guitars when we talked about the synth axe that came out in the 1980s. If you'd like to check out that video and haven't done so, we'll go ahead and link it right up there so you can check out all the fun shenanigans that manufacturers have done over the years trying to accomplish this, which is allow the guitar, which is a really cool, very expressive string instrument, to enter the world of synthesizers. Yeah. And so we've seen all sorts of attempts to do it, but this is, I think, one of the first or best applications that is easily done in a single stomp box guitar pedal.
Totally. No, it's awesome. I spent a few days over the last week kind of just diving into this, getting sounds out of it, and it's probably the best, like most natural sounding. Like it makes it sound like an actual synthesizer, not a guitar with just a bunch of effect pedals on it. I found that even in the past, like certain maybe Boss pedals that I had gotten that offered more of like a synthy tone, you can still really tell it's a guitar. Yeah. And I think this blurs the line the most, where you can make very, very convincing synth noises out of this, you know. Yeah,
and, you know, it's interesting because there's been a number of pedals that, you know, I'm thinking of the Electro Harmonics pedals, the B9, the C9, the Key 9. Those are really cool pedals that deal with trying to bring about some sound. But where I have heard those pedals used mostly is kind of acting almost like shimmer on reverbs do, where it's just kind of sitting in the background and stuff. And they really, there's a few sounds that sound really good, but it's an organ sound, or it's you know, one of those kind of specific keyboard sounds. This one really seems like it is turning your guitar into a synth controller. Yeah. But in this application, the single stop box, the SY-1, you're not having to rely on having MIDI pickups in the guitar. Yeah. Any guitar will work.
Yeah, absolutely. And, you know, they make the SY-1000, which we also carry here.
Which does require...
it requires some... You can get some sounds out of it. I mean, if you're just to plug a 1/4 inch from your guitar into it, there's plenty of sounds that you can get that are really cool, but to unlock the full processing power...
You really need like a 13-pin RMC MIDI pickup.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, you need the pickup, you need the cable, and it's really worth it to get those things. Like, I mean, check out some videos on it. It's awesome. But this kind of distills probably, arguably, like the most classic synth tones that you would want as like a foray into that, down into something that you don't need anything extra. You need power source, you need 1/4 inch cables, you know?
Right. So take us through, and it looks like it's stereo?
Yeah, you can do stereo, and it has a expression.
Right, so you can control it through an expression pedal, and you can stereo out on it. It's got some blending capabilities that are cool. So take us through the options on the 4 knobs, because it's actually like 6, because there's 2 stacked knobs.
Yeah, so on the far left, it's kind of your level, your wet signal and your dry signal, but instead of just having one to where you can either go 0% wet signal, 100% wet signal, you can control them both independently.
So you're really independently controlling the volume of the dry signal and the effect.
Yeah, and the blending options just get expanded from there. And then your next one, it's the same. It's a double stacked knob, controlling the tone of your affected signal and the depth of your sweeps and stuff like that.
Got it. So you can affect like your sequence and all the various, well, you'll talk about some of the effects that are in there, but
totally.
you can control that through that knob.
Yeah, and then the next is your variation, which is just more parameters to control how wide you want your synthing sequences and arpeggiators and stuff to go, and how
so it's got like high pass filters and stuff that you're affecting through there, low pass filters.
Yeah, and that's something cool, you know, with your expression that you can change. And then on the far right is your synth type. So this is kind of breaking it down into your basic, you know, terms that you know from synths, like your lead tones, pad tones. You can do very, very cool synth bass tones, like old school, like Moog synth, you know.
You know, it's funny. I'm seeing 2 guitar players specifically, maybe 3. The guys that love kind of atmospheric, you know, ambient style tones. This seems like perfect for them.
Totally.
Guys who are definitely into like playing funk can have a ton of fun with this. And I'm guessing this would work on the pedal board of a ton of worship guitar players, particularly when you're having pad and stuff. I mean, that stuff's already part of those music genres, particularly ambient music and like worship style music. So being able to have that on your pedal board is pretty killer.
Yeah, something that, you know, a band might rely on a keyboard player to have those patches where you can add pads or bells or something. It's available here to where you can, and then you can keep your dry signal.
Yeah, you can blend it. So you still got your guitar coming through, and then you could, you know, have really present or maybe duck behind it these wonderful pad sounds that are going on. Similar to what, you know, you often hear with like shimmer reverbs, but really a lot more controlled, really geared towards synthesizers. And then being able to like have sequencers or lead tones is killer.
Totally. There's sequencers, and within the knob for the sequencer, you can kind of, there's some play there. So there's a few different options. There's sound effects, which are just, you know.
Do we get the salsa whistle, like the axe effects or the axe guitar?
I mean, I think this was directly inspired by the synth axe. The synth axe really changed the game.
We have salsa whistle back.
Yeah, and then it's, so you mentioned like the C9, B9 kind of thing. There are organ tones in here as well.
Sweet.
Sound great. There's strings, so you can, it's not just kind of one atmospheric synth tone where it's kind of catch-all for pad, string, organ, all that stuff. You can really get specific on the type of synth.
And it's like most Boss pedals, there's option for the 9-volt battery, or you can plug it in, and then, it's got a nice switch here for guitar or bass. So bass players, you have some really cool synth options available. And what's nice about that is it's not a one-size-fits-all pedal, because, you know, there's obviously recognition there. If you're playing bass, but you're trying to go through this, which has processors that are taking your analog signal, and I'm sure running it through some analog digital conversions, you know, kind of having a preset for the frequency range is very necessary to make sure that the effects are utilized correctly. Otherwise, you could end up with something sounding too muddy.
Yeah,
you know, that's pretty cool. You know, we're going to run this through with this baritone, and it'd be interesting to see which one it actually responds to better, guitar or bass. I have a theory.
Totally.
So,
I don't claim to know the in-depth of what's going on in here, but it has some of the best tracking, like note tracking of any, you know, kind of. That's
been one of the Achilles heels for a lot of the guitars, like, you know, Fender did Roland Strats that would go through, and there have been MIDI guitars using 13-pin RMC connectors and stuff for decades at this point. But one of the issues that plagued a lot of them, really other than like the very best ones, was tracking.
Yeah.
You know, kind of a latency that would take place where you could outplay the effect.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's one of the things I noticed on this too, is it was just, it's where technology is. Our processors have become so powerful and so small that you're no longer dealing with that issue.
Yeah, very cool pedal.
Cool. So you've heard enough of us talking about it. I know you want to hear it, so Cooper's going to put it through its paces and show you how mind-blowing expansive this pedal can be and why you are going to want it on your pedal board. Check it out. So there you have it. Boss's synthesizer SY-1 pedal is killer. Every single one of us in the room right now wants this on our pedal board. And you probably do too at this point, whether it's for pad sounds, organ sounds, string sounds, make your guitar sound like a cello or what have you.
Or just the great lead tones. I mean, you can get real 80s with it. You know, we've been into that.
Yeah,
recently.
definitely. Well, and just kind of really expand. You know, there's two ways of coming at this. You could either try to use your guitar as a replacement for a keyboard synthesizer with a pedal like this, or you could see this as a whole new palette of sounds that are available to you with your instrument. And that's one of the fun things about right now. Here we are in 2020, right? If you're at home playing, or you know, you have limited access playing out with your band and stuff, this is a whole new world of colors that you can now paint with.
Yeah,
so
totally.
very, very cool. If you'd like more information about it, where can they go?
Go to alamomusic.com and check out our other channels too. Our Instagram and Facebook. We'll be doing some other kind of side content, just jamming in the store.
Totally
like
different content than what you're seeing on here. You're going to see some videos that Cooper's done, some cool photography we've done as well on our Instagram channel for Alamo Music. And if you go to our website, you can check the specs out, but you can also chat with somebody. So you can live chat and they can answer questions that you have that sometimes aren't covered simply by manufacturer specs. So
yeah, and check out our website for the SY-1000 as well. Like we mentioned, we do have that one in stock. We just don't have a guitar right now with the GK pickup on it to jam on it. But there are plenty of other videos that you can, you know, that Boss has done where you can see what that sounds like, and then you can buy it from our.
If you want to go further down the rabbit hole,
yeah, go all the way in.
Cool. Well, so as always, we want to thank you for watching. If you're new to our channel, make sure to subscribe. We really appreciate it when you do. Turn on those notifications and like our videos. If you don't like it, that's okay. You can say you don't like it, but comment below. We'd love to hear from you. I'm really interested to hear from you right now on this video for this pedal, how you think you might be able to incorporate some of the really cool sounds and options within the vast, you know, kind of array of electric guitar playing through something like this. We mentioned a few options, but I think there's more out there. So definitely let us know what your thoughts are. And at the end of the day, whether your guitar sounds like classical, acoustic, electric guitar, or some crazy synth, the best guitar in the world is
the one that you're making music on.
So keep it up. We're here to help. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.